During the long winters of World War II, when fuel was scarce and firelight could give away a soldier's position, men on both sides of the front lines faced a brutal problem: darkness. In snow-covered forests and bombed-out towns, the nights were long, freezing and almost completely black. Lanterns required kerosene or oil, candles melted too fast, and open flames drew enemy fire. But necessity has always been the mother of invention, and out of that desperation came an ingenious creation known among soldiers as the snow lamp. It burned nothing, produced no smoke, and yet could light an entire dugout or tent, using only the reflective and refractive properties of ice and snow. At first glance, the idea of using snow to produce light sounds impossible. Snow, after all, seems to absorb the darkness of winter rather than fight it. But soldiers on the Eastern Front quickly learned that snow could do something remarkable: amplify even the smallest source of light. When sunlight or a low-burning ember struck the inner walls of a snow shelter, the crystalline structure of the ice scattered and reflected the light thousands of times, producing a soft but steady glow. This phenomenon became the basis of the snow lamp. It wasn't a lamp in the modern sense. It was a handmade optical chamber built directly from frozen earth and snow. Soldiers would carve a hollow from a snowbank or build a compact dome using packed snow mixed with crushed ice. The ratio was critical. 2 parts compacted snow to 1 part ice-created walls that were dense enough to hold shape but still translucent. The inner cavity was then smoothed to a near-glass finish with a gloved hand or a heated metal cup. When a single ember, small candle stub, or even the dim glow of a watch dial was placed inside, the walls caught and scattered that faint light, turning it into a diffuse illumination, bright enough to read maps or write letters. Though this method gained fame during World War II, it wasn't a new concept. Arctic explorers, Inuit hunters, and Siberian trappers had long known that a hollow snow structure with smooth walls could refract light. The soldiers merely refined it for survival. The trick was building the chamber with just the right thickness. Walls thinner than 5 centimetres melted too quickly, while anything thicker than 10 centimetres blocked the light. The ideal balance, around 7 centimetres, allowed the light to pass through, but trapped enough air to prevent collapse. To enhance brightness, some soldiers lined the inside with a thin layer of melted snow, brushed over with soot or ash, then wiped partially clean. This contrast increased the scattering of light through the crystalline layers. In dugouts and bunkers, they often created a snow lamp chamber directly into the wall by scooping out a cavity and sealing the entrance with a small sheet of clear ice. The ice acted as a lens, focusing the weak flame or glow inside and projecting it outward like a lantern. In the harsh winters of Karelia and northern Poland, Finnish and Soviet troops sometimes added a reflective back panel made from tin or foil scavenged from ration packs. When placed behind a small wick soaked in animal fat, it created a concentrated glow without open flame, safe, smokeless and invisible from above. Lighting was not just a matter of comfort. It was essential for morale, coordination and safety. Soldiers used the snow lamp to illuminate field notes, cook rations at night, and check weapons without alerting enemy snipers. It provided a psychological lifeline, a reminder that even in the coldest darkness, human ingenuity could still make light. One recorded example from Finnish archives described a lamp hut built entirely of snow, large enough to seat 4 soldiers. Inside, a single cup of tallow burned behind an ice window, producing enough diffused light to last through the night. The temperature difference inside and outside the chamber was just 5 degrees, yet it was enough to prevent frostbite while the men worked. To recreate such a lamp today, the process is straightforward, but requires patience. Start with a snow pile at least 1 metre high. Hollow out a chamber roughly the size of a large watermelon, keeping the walls smooth and even. If the snow is too powdery, mix it with water to form a slush that freezes hard. Once the cavity is formed, create a small recess at the base for your light source, a tea light, a battery-powered LED, or even a small reflective cup with a candle stub. Seal the front with a thin layer of clear ice or a plastic window. The glow will spread evenly through the snow, creating a soft white illumination that lasts as long as your small heat source does. Unlike a campfire, the snow lamp produced no smoke, no odour, and no flicker to betray one's location. This was vital during sieges and night patrols. The Germans, Soviets and Finns all operated under strict blackout rules to avoid detection from aircraft or artillery observers. Even a faint spark could bring death from above. But a snow lamp, buried in the wall of a shelter, emitted only a muted glow, visible from within. In besieged Leningrad, some civilians replicated the same idea, using ice blocks stacked in windowsills to magnify and scatter daylight into dark rooms. Farmers in rural Norway, cut off from supplies, use frozen fish oil inside carved snow bowls as an improvised light source, sometimes mixed in a ratio of 1 part oil to 2 parts melted snow to slow the burn and increase reflection. The snow lamp became more than a clever device. It was a symbol of calm persistence. It proved that even in freezing darkness, light could be created without flame, and warmth could come from knowledge rather than fuel. For modern survivalists, campers or homesteaders living through power outages or winter storms, the principle behind the snow lamp is still relevant. It demonstrates how environmental materials, ice, snow and minimal heat, can be used to generate usable light safely. When paired with small LED lights or solar-powered devices, this method creates natural reflectors that can extend light coverage while conserving energy. In essence, the lost WWII's snow lamp teaches a lesson that transcends time. You don't always need more resources. Sometimes you need better understanding of what's already around you. The snow lamp remains one of those wartime inventions that deserve far more recognition. It's a simple, elegant solution born from necessity and grounded in science. It required no electricity, no glass, and no danger of fire, only snow, patience, and knowledge. For the soldiers who endured nights at 40 below zero, that faint glow was more than illumination. It was hope. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to subscribe to Echoes of Valor and share this video with others who appreciate the forgotten ingenuity of wartime survival. Every piece of history like this reminds us that even in the darkest hours, the human spirit finds a way to shine.